Getting better at editing can be really easy. You don't need years of experience to make small improvements that are going to help you today. And you also don't need lots of flashy cuts either to make a really good edit. So in this video, I'm going to show you 4 techniques that you can start using straight away if you're starting out or you just want to get your edits to that next level where they don't look so boring. So the first technique is J-cuts and L-cuts, and these are a really subtle way to make your videos more engaging. If you've ever watched a film and you've heard audio from the next scene in the current scene, that's a J-cut. And the aim is to create some kind of suspense or curiosity for the viewer so that they have an idea of what's going to happen next, but they're not quite sure, but they really want to find out. So all you have to do is start the audio from clip 2 whilst clip 1 is finishing. And you can do this with either music or sound effects. So if you're shooting a vlog, you can start playing the music from the next scene whilst you finish talking, or you can start playing a sound effect from the next scene whilst you finish talking. This is something that I tend to do quite a lot in my videos. So the L-cut is the complete opposite. So this is where you carry on the audio from clip 1 into clip 2. So you can't see what's happening, but you can still hear what's going on. So this is a really great way to switch scenes or to close out a scene if you want to just fade to black or just cut to black. So the next technique is using motion graphics, and this is a really great way to hide jump cuts, or if you've got a really long talking headpiece, then you can break it up by using motion graphics, and it just adds a little bit more creativity to your edit. And this is where today's sponsor comes in, which is Motion Array, because you can source loads of different motion graphics from Motion Array, and you can start with a free trial. It works with Adobe Premiere Pro, After Effects, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and even Premiere Rush, which is a mobile app for editing. So it makes Motion Array really accessible. And there's not just motion graphics, but there's also templates, presets, plugins, and royalty-free music and sound effects. So it's going to save you so much time in trying to figure out how to do this yourself. You can just find the motion graphics that you like, put it into your footage, and then you're good to go. And if you do want to buy it, then you can get $50 off. I've put a link in the description, so check that out. I use Motion Array assets in pretty much all of my videos. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you'll see. And it's just a really quick and easy way just to get going with motion graphics. So yeah, try using motion graphics for more creativity and just to make your videos a little bit more engaging. So that leads me nicely on to the next point, which is using B-roll effectively. And there are 2 ways that you can use B-roll for this. And the first thing, like I mentioned before, is covering up jump cuts. So you can use motion graphics, but you can also use B-roll. And there's nothing worse than having loads of jump cuts in a video. It just makes it really unnatural and it just doesn't look very good. And it's quite jarring for the viewer to watch. So every time you have a jump cut, or every time you're doing a talking headpiece, if you have loads of jump cuts, it's gonna come off really unnatural. So using B-roll is a really great way to smooth out those jump cuts. I just wanted to go out today and try out the Action 2 and the Action 3. I just wanted to compare the footage between the 2. So I'm going to take the Action 2 and I'm going to take the Action 3 out and get some footage. I just wanted to go out today and try out the Action 2 and the Action 3. I just wanted to compare the footage between the 2. So I'm going to take the Action 2 and I'm going to take the Action 3 out and get some footage. So the other reason for using B-roll is to break up a long talking headpiece. And it's also a great idea if you're talking about something to actually show what you're talking about, because that also makes it more engaging for the viewer to watch. More of a nice to have is this remote. So you can get the original remote, which is the one where you connect your phone, but just having the one where you've got the screen. And there's a reason that I chose to come to London today to do this video, because I'm very conscious of vlogging in public. But when you're in London, everybody is basically a tourist, so no one really... So B-roll is another great technique, and it's something that you should factor into your filming when you are filming your videos, and just make it a priority to get some B-roll. And so the last technique is using music and cutting to the beat. There's nothing worse than watching a B-roll sequence which is completely out of time with the music, because the music should complement your B-roll sequence and vice versa. So cutting to the beat is actually a really great way to make sure that that sequence is seamless and smooth to listen to and watch. There is software that you can get where you can find the beat in each track, which makes it easier for you to make sure that you are cutting to the beat, but there's also a really easy way to do it yourself in your editing software. All you have to do is extend your music track, find the beat, so it's usually a peak or a dip most of the time, and then you can either put a marker or you can just cut your B-roll at that point. So hopefully that was useful and it'll help you get to that next level with your edits. Check out Motion Array, the link is in the description for you to get $50 off, and thanks Motion Array for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I will catch you on the next one.